Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another session of eMeet Your School. We have Dr. Kingshuk Mukherjee, who's here with us. He is the principal of Woxsen School of Arts and Design. Um, so we're very happy that number one, all of you are here, and we're also happy that Dr. Kingshuk is here. Let me just start my webcam so that everyone can see me, and I hope you can see Dr. Kinshuk as well.
Hello,
So,
students.
hi, okay. So, before we start off, I just want to confirm if everyone can hear us. If you can hear us, there's a small little chat button or a questions tab. Please type in yes if you can hear, and we will start off soon after. All right. Fantastic. I'm getting a few yeses, so fantastic. All right. Over to you, Dr. Kinshuk. Let me.
Uh,
I think we'll start off with a small introduction of yourself, and and then we'll get into the rest.
sure. So, can we do the screen sharing? I mean, if the
Yes.
students can see my screen.
Yes. I'll make you the presenter. All right. You're the presenter now.
Okay, great. Just give me a few moments so that I get hold of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so others can see the screen. Wonderful.
Yes. We can see your screen.
Fine then. Yes, we can start. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to me. And on behalf of Woxsen School of Art and Design, I welcome all the students. And I don't know if the parents are there, all the audience. So yeah, I'm Dr. Kingshuk Mukherjee. I'm working as a principal Woxen School of Art and Design. So I'm heading all these departments, design departments we have, the different domains. That is fashion design, interior design, product design, and visual communication. So the programs we offer is a Bachelor of Design, a 4-year degree program. So and I'm by profession a fashion designer. Just a brief introduction. So we'll start with the presentation, the slides. We'll go through slides, each slide, and then we'll elaborate on the pointers. So we'll come to the discussion about Woxen School of Art and Design. That is the main objective of today's presentation. So before that, I mean, I'm sure all of you, all the students are already aware, and this generation is especially very, I mean, up to date with all information, with all flood of information all around you, and you're already preparing for to be a designer, all prospective designers. So you have a lot of information about design, but still, we'll start with a brief uh, context on which we are talking. So I hope you can see the screen. So just a minute, right? Yeah. So starting with a quote by the famous legendary graphic designer Paul Rand. And I'm not sure if you've heard of him. So you can go in detail and study about his contribution to the design domain. So everything is design, everything. So basically what we want to say, and this is not a quote from today's scenario. He has quoted it around 30, 40 years back. So he was instrumental in designing a lot of logos, famous logos, including IBM. So, and in today's context, we can see that design is everywhere. We can see design is omnipresent. Whatever we see, we wake up in the morning and we sleep at night. In between, we come across hundreds and thousands of designs around us. So design touches everything that surrounds us, and design touches our life. And we can see designs in our lifestyle, in our day-to-day routine. So yes, let us go to the next slide. Yes, so we can see design is there, designing is there. So that means designers must be there. We need a lot of designers, especially in today's scenario. So where all do we find designers and takers for designers in the society? So conventionally, design is associated with things which are tangible. So all the companies which are making products, any sort of product, So we need product designers. So conventional design domains are like fashion design started in around 1850s, and then graphic design was there, product design is there. So gradually what happened, that different things, different product categories which were not in the design domain gradually started becoming designer products. So we need a lot of product designers in today's scenario. All companies which are manufacturing product and supplying and distributing products and retailing products, they all need product designers. So on the other side, even if you are not selling products or dealing with products, tangible products, still you need designers in the form of visual communication designers. So in all companies, we see a lot of graphic element happening through in form of websites. In today's scenario, we have blogs, we have apps. So who designs those? We need a lot of designers. So starting with the logo and to the entire communication campaign, every company, be it dealing with products or services, and product and services both. So everyone needs designers in form of visual communication designers to take care of the communication program, communication campaign. So these are the conventional definitions which we all know about designers. To add to it, over the last 1 decade, we have something called design thinking. So design is no longer limited to tangibles. Now design is a part of strategies. So people, all organizations in today's scenario, they need design strategists, or design has become a part of the company's strategic language. So they want to be different from others. How? Then through design thinking, out of the box thinking. So the same process and methodology which is followed in making a product, developing a product from conceptualization to the manufacturing, the same flow chart, flow of activities, flow of thought can be applied in problem solving. So this is what we understand, roughly understand by design thinking. So we need design strategists in organizations to think out of the box and to get their companies to a competitive advantage. So design is no longer a tangible thing; it has become a philosophy. So it is a thought process. So we can see a lot of examples over the last 2 decades, maybe 2 or 3 decades. A lot of non-design related firms such as banks, restaurants, they have started hiring designers to look after their businesses. And the biggest example would be even the financial consultancy services like TCS and others, Deloitte. They are also hiring designers, design strategists to give them innovative approaches to the business solutions. So just quoting a few examples, we all must be knowing about it, but still I want to quote because these are very relevant. So one of the companies whose backbone is design thinking and design in its philosophy is Apple. So it started with ex-CEO Steve Jobs, co-founder, chairman, and ex-CEO. According to him, design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works. So design is there at the core of Apple, all products of Apple, and we know that this is such a successful company in today's scenario. The entire framework and the foundation is design thinking and applying design solutions. The second company which I would like to quote is Tesla. So this is, I hope that a lot of people know about Tesla and Elon Musk. So this is a clean energy company where again the design philosophy is at its core. So according to Elon Musk, one of the quotes, famous quotes, you shouldn't do things differently just because they are different. They need to be better. So according to this, I mean, I just try to decode this, that design is not just to make the product look different from others. It is how it works better than others. So design is at its core. So this is how the designers should work. Okay, now gradually coming to our main topic for today. That because of this recent shift in focus towards design and the need for millions and billions and trillions of designers. So the gradually and obviously the focus shifted to the increasing role of designers as like formally trained designers. Designers are always there, maybe 100 years back, 200 years back, because we had products, so they were designers. But now we need formally trained designers to work in the industry. So that led to this gradual boom of design education all across the globe, not only in India, but all across the globe. It started with Germany. This Bauhaus school started in 1919, in 1920s. So gradually it came to India, and we actually were following the British education system. So this sows the seed for design education in India. And initially it started with art education, and then gradually shifted to commercial art, and then uh, the designer was born, the modern era designer was born. So we can see obviously that if we need so many designers, so we need well-trained designers. So um, just the government institutions which we have, the premier institutions like NIFT and NID, it will not serve the purpose because they cannot churn out so many designers. So then the focus of the government and the private sector, they all work together, that we need designers for the society. So that if you see the today's wave over the last 10 or 15 years, a lot of educational institute, be it private, be it government, be it university, be it autonomous institution, everyone started opening up design departments in their establishments. So now coming to Woxsen, Woxsen is still a pretty new baby. So this design department in Woxsen is 4 year old. So we started our journey, and now we'll go through what is different about Woxsen, what is new about Woxsen, and how Woxsen adds value and serves the society in terms of uh, producing designers, if we can use the word producing actually. So here at Woxsen, what we focus on, so I'll just briefly go through what are the unique propositions we offer at Woxsen. So we focus on the curriculum, that is learning by doing. This concept of design and design education doesn't work well with the conventional system of delivery and teaching learning system. So the design needs learning by doing. So most of the courses in the curriculum of design, if you see the curriculum of good design schools and the teaching pedagogy of good design schools, it is focused on learning by doing. So if you do, you learn. You make mistakes, then you learn. So it is not that you attend a lecture and you become a designer. So it doesn't work out that ways. You cannot have a well-trained designer by that approach. So we focus on, just like it is not that we only follow this philosophy, all good design schools, I'm not talking about all schools, but good design schools follow this philosophy of learning by doing. So does Woxen. So we believe in hands-on learning. So people, the students come and they do and they learn. So the curriculum is developed in such a way that maybe 60, 70%, around 70% of the courses, they are practical oriented, lab oriented. So you go to, let's say, a product design lab or a fashion design lab, you work and you learn the techniques of designing. The second thing which goes hand in hand with learning by doing is the collaborations we have with the industry. So we have industry partners who are also part of the board of studies, who contribute in developing the curriculum, who contribute in fine-tuning the curriculum for us, and in turn that results in industry-ready people. So the industry professionals come and they discuss their problems and the situations and the scenario of the industry, the present scenario and the developments, technological developments, and the upgradations which are happening across the industry. And we work on the same lines in developing students who are industry ready. So going into detail of these things. So why Woxen? So the question comes, why there are so many other design schools and why Woxen? A few of the things which we have already discussed, one is learning by doing and industry proximity, that is the involvement of industry in shaping the curriculum and in coming and I mean, joining hands with us too. It is basically a win-win situation if you try to understand. You all are mature students. If you try to understand, it is a win-win situation. If we develop designers in isolation without consulting industry professionals, there would be a gap. When the student passes out and they go for their graduation projects, and then when they join the industry, there would be a huge gap. Then the industry have to train them separately. That results in huge investment in terms of time and money. So to bridge the gap, it's better that when they pass out from the college or the university or the education institute, they are industry ready. So it is win-win situation for both the institution and for the industry. So that is one advantage we have, that we are working in close proximity with the industry professionals. Okay, so coming now to faculty. So I'll just go by a few points here, which is mentioned in the slide. Professional and expert faculty. So it would be an understatement that we have a lot of wonderful faculty with us, both in as a core faculty, and like all the great design institutions, we rely a lot on visiting faculties who come for modules, for courses. They take the courses and they go. So we have a lot of senior NIDians coming and teaching the students and giving guidance. And we also have mentor faculties, such senior faculty who come from time to time and they mentor the students. And we don't compromise on hiring good faculty. So we have faculty from all the great institutions, not only from India, but from all across the globe. Okay, coming to the campus, yes, the campus matters a lot because it gives an environment which is conducive and which is productive, which helps you to think free and think out of the box. So you need infrastructure and good campus to uh, think in differently and think in terms of design directions. So we have a wonderful campus, and it would be boasting, but still I would say that I have worked in a lot of design institutions. I've traveled a lot. I go for taking examinations in different colleges and universities. But what infrastructure we have, we will not find anywhere in India in terms of labs and technology and software, and in terms of all facilities. It is world class. We are world class campus, right? So now coming to another point, which is trade tower. This might be a new concept for the students. So you can see the image which is adjacent to this the text matter. So basically, this is an incubation center. Like a lot of institutions like IIT and government universities, they have the incubation centers where, and especially for design, we need an incubation centers because we want to train the students to be fine. They want to work in the industry, they want to be job seekers, but they want to provide jobs. So we find a lot of entrepreneurs among designers because designers work, I mean, they gather experience and they start on their own. This is how design works by and large. So we have incubation center where we invite students who have business ideas. We provide them support to start on their own. So I'll come back in a later slide where we have an example where we have guided a student. Now he has started on his own. Okay, next point is placements. Again, I'll touch this point in the next slide. And we also have global partners. We'll touch that in the next slide, next few slides. Coming to rankings, accreditation and rankings. Ranking has become inevitable. It has become very important in today's scenario. So previously, maybe if we see 10 years, 15 years down the line, 15 years back, no institution was focused on ranking and no one bothered as such about rankings. But in today's scenario, even the government institutions and all premier institutions, they are focused on ranking because it tells a lot about the institute. Even the parents and the students, they compare the rankings from different organizations, different agencies. IIRF is one of the well-known organizations which provides ranking. So it is basically Indian institutional ranking framework. So the 2020 ranking, I'm proud to say that Woxsen has been ranked third among the top private design institutes. We can see in this small window, we can see other names like Pearl and UID. So Woxsen is still young and still it is ranked third, and we have a long way to go. So I'm sure we'll touch new heights. So coming to international collaborations, which we have already mentioned in last few slides, we have our global immersion partner. So global immersion, the meaning of global immersion is that students, as we can see in the slide, top 30 meritorious students across the streams of final year will be considered for global immersion free of charge at not Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. They'll get that opportunity to go to Singapore. And NTU, believe me, if you study after this webinar, is one of the best universities, which is, I mean, if you compare the design domain, it is one of the best, doing one of the best in today's scenario. So I'll ask the students if they can go through the website of NTU after this webinar. So you get a wonderful opportunity to travel to NTU in your final year, spend a week there, understand how the teaching learning works there, and how this system of design education works. And you'll also get to attend classes at NTU. Okay, now coming to which is important now. A lot of institutions are offering certifications, but degree is very important, and that too not a 3-year degree. But in line with the philosophy and thrust areas of the government, we need a globally recognized 4-year Bachelor of Design degree if we want to, if we are actually serious about our career, because it has become a bare minimum requirement of the entry level job positions in the industry as well. The industry people are graduate, I mean the HR departments, they are focusing on a 4-year degree from a recognized university and recognized institution for entry level job positions in the design industry. And not only in the industry, even if you want to go for higher education, even in India, even outside India, to any country, they would ask for a 4-year degree, recognized degree. Otherwise, you won't be able to enroll in a master's of MDes program, master degree in design program, if you don't have a 4-year degree. And a lot of students have aspirations. They do their Bachelor of Design and they go for masters. So 4-year degree is inevitable if you are very serious about your career. So this has become a requirement for the industry and the academia. Okay, I would like to touch upon few points which might be of importance to you. So basically, what are the different career options which you would have after you pass out from, I mean, from an institution, after you graduate, after you do your BDes. So I'll talk in terms of the domains which we offer. More or less, it covers everything: fashion design, product design, interior design, and visual communication. So there is, you can see in the slide, there is one supply chain which I have mentioned, that is the core design industry. And there are certain allied service industries which work hand in hand with the core design industry. So basically the supply chain, or we at times call it the value chain, because at each level it adds value. So from the sourcing, from the suppliers of raw materials to manufacturing, it goes via a lot of intermediaries. It depends on the industry, how many intermediaries are there, how many levels of intermediaries are there, suppliers and intermediaries, and then it reaches retail. I hope you have basic idea of what is manufacturing sector and what is retail sector. Retail is from where we buy the products. So we have the retail within the design industry, within the domains, fashion industry, product design industry, interior design, and visual communication. We have these levels of the supply chain. So we can have designers working at the level of suppliers of raw material to designers working with the manufacturing units, and in a lot of scenarios for export houses which manufacture and export to other countries. So we have a lot of requirement of designer through the entire supply chain in the manufacturing sector. And these two are major sectors, like one is manufacturing, one is retail. So we have retail designers who are working with the retail giants all across the globe. And we have designers who are working with the manufacturing sector. So both designers need to join hands and work hand in hand in order to understand the situations. So there are different allied service industries like the advertising agencies, the communication industry, which are working for the communication aspects of the design. We have these, if you are familiar with fashion design terminologies, we have this fashion trend forecasting agencies, which provide fashion forecast, whichever trends are in for the next season. So we have these allied, which are closely allied to the core design industry, these service industries. So there are job profiles which exist in the service industries as well. So if we have to term some of the job roles, let's say, let's take the example of, let's say, fashion design. So we have fashion designers who will be working with the different retail sector, like the well-established retail units like Marks and Spencer. They would be designers working with the head designer of Marks and Spencer when they graduate, let's say, head designer of Mango or Zara. The designers who go from, let's say, Woxsen, who pass out from Woxsen, can work as assistant designer to these head designers. They can work for smaller boutiques. The fashion designers who have their retail boutiques, they can work with these designers. They can freelance, they can develop their designs and work for multiple clients. So that is one opportunity, freelancing, and the entrepreneurial opportunities. Okay, these fashion designers can work as, let's say, fashion forecaster, fashion merchandisers. Visual merchandising is one of the major areas where a lot of interior design students as well as fashion design students can work. So visual merchandisers look into the store design of these retail stores. So similarly, there are a lot of, maybe if we can list out, there may be hundreds of different job roles which exist in the design industry today. So the future is very bright for design. So for the last 2 decades, decades, the focus area has been design, and I'm very sure in 30 to 40 years, if not less, right? So fine. Next coming to another point which we have touched upon in the previous slide, but we'll like to focus more is a lot of parents and the students' major concerns is placements and internships. So we'd like to touch upon this. We have a clearly dedicated placement team, which looks into internships, graduation projects, as well as final placements. So internship is where the student finishes the 6th semester, that is 3rd year. Then we send them for a 1.5 month of summer training. That is the internship. We term it as internship. Then after the 7th semester is over, the final semester is termed as graduation project, where the students go, the classroom teaching gets over after the 7th semester. Then the student gets the opportunity to work with industry for the next 4 to 5 months and stay, work, work at their offices and understand the scenario and requirements. At time they get real life projects. At time they work on their own projects, but get guidance from the industry mentors. So that is what graduation project is all about. And then the final placements after the 8th semester. So in most of the cases, our final year batch is actually working for graduation projects in present scenario. Unfortunately, they have to work from home due to the COVID-19 pandemic situation. But anyway, they are working with the industry, working from home. And a lot of our students, good proportion of our students have already got PPOs, that is pre-placement offers from the companies where they are working for graduation projects. Just to highlight one point, which is very important, the package, the salary package. So our placement team can give you the exact details of all the students' packages and the companies. But the highest package which was received by a design student is 7 lakhs per annum. It is a student from BDES Product Design 4th year, Naina Patil. She has been offered a job with Go Winning. It's a Goa-based firm, communication design, a user experience design profile for product design student. So, and I've just tried to focus the screenshot of a lot of companies where the students are working. Okay, last but not the least, would like to focus on the student activities, because design doesn't work like the student stays in the campus and attends classes and that is it. So in design education, we need a lot of exposure. They need to go to the industry. They need to see how this, let's say, manufacturing units work, how the different sectors of the industry works. And there are a lot of visits, not only to these units, but to, let's say, to a lot of places where they get a lot of inspiration. So designers need a lot of inspiration. So they go to places where they do photography, and they do see and they sketch. They sketch in the at that place where they go. They visit sites and they do a lot of study, on-site study. Especially the interior design students, if they don't go to the sites, they cannot work in isolation. Same applies for all other students, like the fashion design students. They attend fashion shows and fashion competitions and other events. So just a glimpse of some of the projects and the industry events where we participated. We participated in the last year's Hyderabad Design Week, which was an international event. We represented our work in front of the entire world. It was a huge event in Hyderabad. In fact, this was the first such event in India, which happened in Hyderabad last year, 2019. So our students participated and showcased their work, which got selected for Hyderabad Design Week. This is just one of the examples. There are many more. I couldn't show it due to the time constraints. Okay, fine. One example where we were talking about the Trade Tower and Incubation Center. One of our students from Product Design 4th year, Sankarsh KM, he worked for an intelligent iron, a concept iron. He is a product design student. So this iron is basically based on induction technology. So we usually see irons which are plugged. So this is a cordless iron which works on induction plates, so that the heat gets transferred to the plate through induction technology. And he has successfully worked on this with the help of our trade tower, that's the incubation center. And he has actually filed a patent a few months back. So this is one of the achievements which I wanted to showcase. And there are many other students competition and design contests where our students work and participate and submit the entries, and they get awards and recognition. So this is another example where one of the students from again product design final year, Shantanu, he has worked on an electric 3-wheeler model which is more efficient. So this also got selected by the organizers. So now coming to your situation, that whether this is the right place for you or not. So is it right for me? The question mark in your head. So I just try to make your decision easy. You need you need to ask a few questions to yourself. So is it right for me? So why? So first of all, you need to be creatively inclined towards your maybe the approach towards life. So you need to be focused of making a career out of your passion. Design, first of all, design should be your passion, and then you need to think of making it a career out of your passion, right? So, and second point is you need to think out of the box. You need to question everything. There should be a lot of questions in your head. If you don't question yourself, it is very difficult. So confusion is a good state of mind for a designer. If you are confused and if you feel that you shouldn't be confused, then you are wrong. You should actually be confused. A lot of questions I mean should come in your mind which contradicts each other. So then only you'll work towards the solution, and we are here to guide you. So, and you should want to contribute to the society, not only in terms of developing designs, but job seeker. You would be a job seeker initially, but the long term objective should be you want to be a job creator. You want to create job for um, many people, especially if we talk about artisans. So the Indian design scenario is such that we work closely with the artisans. I hope you understand who are artisans. So we need to create jobs for the artisans. We need to work hand in hand with the artisans, and we need to create jobs, and we need to train them how to work in present scenario. And as far as the entry requirement and the eligibility criteria is concerned, you need to be 10 plus 2 or equivalent from any stream, science, commerce, arts, or any other stream, whichever is applicable. Above 50% of aggregate marks in your qualifying examination. In this case, that is 10 plus 2. Fluency in English. It is important. We'll try to train you and we'll try to nurture you, but then there should be some level of communication skills we would judge during the interview for this admission interview. Okay, and the students who are appearing in the 12th, most of the students they have given the 12th examinations, they can definitely apply. So, okay, how can you get into Woxsen? The procedure for admission, the selection procedure is, first you need to submit a statement of purpose to the admission team. Then they'll invite you for a Woxsen design test, which is an online test, which deals with these knowledge areas, that is general knowledge, domain knowledge. Domain means that design domain. Sketching, studio skills, basically sketching and drawing skills, which we classify as studio skills. Narrative skill is very important. So a designer needs to visualize things. There should be storytelling concepts in your head. You should be able to think in terms of frames of narration. So that is one important skill which you should work on if you are a design aspirant. And then the last step is personal interview. Along with the interview, we review your portfolio. So that's it from my end. Hope you enjoyed this session and it was informative. You can ask questions. Back to you, please.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Doctor. Um,
You're
yeah,
most welcome.
so
Yeah.
yeah, so a few questions coming in. Um, so starting off with the board percentage required for the admissions. Okay,
Yes.
question from Anushka. Um,
Mhm.
now, does it matter what the percentage is? Does a person with a higher percentage get more rank? Get would be preferred over a student with a lower board percentage?
Uh, Not really. It is not the only criteria, because there are many criteria. We develop the composite score. One of the criteria is academics, that is the qualifying examination marks. The second would be the Woxen design test. The third would be the personal interview, and fourth is the portfolio. So it has weightage, but it is not the only criteria.
All right, all right, all right. Also, in the statement of purpose, what exactly would be expected in the statement of purpose?
It should be, see, this is what I feel, my personal opinion on it. Maybe the office can get back to you with greater detail, but what I understand, it should be around 500 word statement of purpose, where you need to show that you are actually passionate about design and you want to make a career out of design. So you need to show that purpose and intent that you want to be a designer.
All
That's it.
right, all right, all right. Any specific things about, say, what they've worked towards it and how they work towards it and things they've
Yes,
done and
anything,
what's
anything which proves their and gives a testimony of their passion. Anything, any work which they have done, any
oh,
ideas which they can share that the way they have, they are inclined towards design.
all right, all right. One more question from Andrew Brito. Through which university is the BDes degree awarded?
It is awarded through, at this moment, is awarded through JNFAU, Jawaharlal Nehru Architecture and Fine Art University. It is in
So that's with
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
cool.
So it is a recognized university in Hyderabad, very age-old university, and well recognized.
All right, all right. And your campus, I understand, is a residential campus,
Yes,
right?
it is a residential campus. It is a
Okay,
completely residential campus. Even we, as faculty members, we also stay inside the campus in our campus
all
accommodations.
sure.
And one
Um,
more thing which I'd like to add, I'm sorry to interrupt, that we are AICTE approved, just like AICTE have made it mandatory for design institution to get approval. So around 60-70% of the institutions have already taken approval. We are AICTE approved. One of the first in Telangana to take AICTE approval.
all right, all right. At this point of time, I'm just going to get a little more understanding of the audience here.
Yes.
So I'm going to launch a poll for a couple of maybe a half a minute or so. I just want
Okay.
as many students to or participants to complete this because
Okay. Great.
yeah, and yeah,
Do I need to fill this up? Because
no,
this
you
is
don't
for,
need.
no,
You
no,
don't
it's
need.
okay.
It's for the
Okay.
participants.
Okay. Great.
All right. Right.
And I would like to encourage all students and parents. You should ask a lot of questions. A lot of questions should come in your head because this is a major decision of your life, of your wards, of your child's life. So you should take a wise decision. So a lot of questions. If I would appreciate, not only to me
Sure.
but to everyone. Yeah.
All right. All right. I'm going to close this poll soon. Okay. Right. The second question I want to understand from the students is when they are applying, are they applying this year, next year, just to get an idea of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So, Dr. Kinshuk, we can while this poll is going on for another few seconds, I'll hold
It's
this
okay. Yeah, yeah.
few
You can take your
seconds,
time, please.
and yeah, I'll be closing it in another 5 seconds. Okay, fine. Right. So, Dr. Kinshuk, so how far
Yes.
is your university from Hyderabad city?
So it is basically on the Mumbai Expressway,
Mhm.
just on the Mumbai Expressway. So it is around, if you consider the city center of the city, so it is around 70 kilometers from the center of the city
All right. So, an hour and a half
towards Mumbai.
drive away.
Yeah,
2 hours.
yeah,
Yeah,
hour and a
an
half.
hour and a
Yeah,
half. Yeah.
hour and
Okay.
a
Okay.
half by your own car. Yes,
All right. All right.
yes.
And yeah. So now I've been there. I've been to the campus and I've seen the massive, absolutely massive campus. And could you tell us a little bit about the hostel rooms and the facilities for the students? Because I thought that was pretty nice. If you can elaborate on that, the
The hostel is
infrastructure.
state of the art. Yeah, hostel is state of the art. In fact, the food in the mess is wonderful. We also consume food from the, we call it the Oval. The mess is named the Oval. So all students, all staff, all faculties, non-teaching staff, we all go there and we have the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So the food is amazing. We have restaurants also, which is open till 2 o'clock. So if you want at late at night, if you're studying and if you want to go to this restaurant, multi-cuisine restaurant, you can go and have food. We have convenience store inside the hostel, and we have stationery store inside the administrative block, academic block, where the design students can purchase stationery and all other required stuff. If you are from Hyderabad, then I would always prefer that you, whenever you visit your home, you would be allowed two weekend visits to your home, so you can go and spend time with your family and come back. And whenever you go to Hyderabad, you can pick up the necessary stuff and come back. So for students who are from outside, there's this stationery store and this convenience store which is self-sufficient. You can survive, no issues.
All right, all
And
right.
then
And what
yes,
about the recreational facilities for the students?
a lot of facilities. Sports, if you are passionate about sports, just like me, then that is heaven actually. So a lot of sports facilities, indoor and outdoor, and we have a dedicated sports staff, a sports managers, trainers, gym trainers, swimming coach. We have a swimming pool which is open once in the morning, once in the evening, separate batches for boys and girls. So you can spend time. The gymnasium is wonderful, world class. We are health conscious. Most of this generation is. And then there are common rooms where we have TT tables and snooker tables. So it's good. If life in Woxen is happening, so you can
All
enjoy your
right.
time.
Okay. So there's a question from Barnabas Thomas. Could you elaborate on the labs, the product design labs in particular?
Yes, we have. We, as I have already mentioned in this during the slides, we have the one of the most wonderful infrastructure and facilities. If you go to any design college in India, be it government college, you go to NIT, you go to NIFT, you go to private universities, government universities, I can bet that you will not find the lab which we have, anything close to that. So be it for product design, for fashion design, interior design, and visual communication, we, especially product design, if you want to talk about, we have this wood workshop and clay workshop, metal workshop, 3D printing workshop, laser cutting workshop. So we have everything in house. We have 3D printers, we have body scanners. So today is all about technology. So it is all about computer aided design and computer aided manufacturing. So the students can design on the 3D softwares like Rhinoceros, and there are many more. So the students can even take out prototypes from the 3D printers. So, and we have laser cutting machines as well. We have potter's wheel, both mechanical and manual. We have staff, dedicated staff, the carpenters and welders, metal welders. So we have a handful of the staff who help the students in their work, cutting metal sheets, working with metal wires and metal coils, and developing products. So we have, definitely if you want to experience, you have to visit. There's a totally different world if you visit.
All right, all right. Maybe after the lockdown, of course. Right.
Exactly.
Uh, yeah. So one of the things whenever I talk to my, the students and the parents, I do tell them to visit all institutes, including Woxen. I think the Woxen campus is pretty nice.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so a question, one more question here. Um, Hold on. What are the types of questions asked in the interview round? So what like, or let me rephrase that. When
Hmm.
a student comes for an interview round, what do they
Yes.
want to know about the student? What is it that
Yes.
the student talk about?
Again, it is related to your statement of purpose. We want to understand the intent, and basically, we don't expect student to be super finished as a designer, because we are here to help you. So we are not looking into a student who knows everything about design, but at least a basic homework should be there. That if you are actually passionate about design, then you should know something about the industry, and you should have some ideas, and you should be able to articulate your ideas, what you have in your head. So you should do your homework about the design industry, whichever domain you are focusing on. Let's say you want to be a product designer, so you should be up to date with the product design developments, whatever are happening, the firms which are doing good. Like for example, there's a company called IKEA which is doing wonderful in terms of product design. So you should be passionate about these things. You should ask questions to yourself, And it may be any passion. Let's suppose you are passionate about watches, you want to be a watchmaker. So you should know about the brands which are there in the market, what is unique in those brands, who are the famous fashion designers who work towards developing products. Suppose if you are passionate about product design, you should be, I mean, this is not only about interview, this is about your career. You should be following and taking inspiration from few people, few designers who have achieved success and fame, who have contributed a lot to the society. So these kind of things you should be aware of.
All right, all right.
Okay,
Cool.
one thing which I would like to voluntarily address is the portfolio. A lot of students ask this question: what should the portfolio contain? So basically, at this point, we don't want the portfolio to be super fine. We know that at the +2 level, but we would appreciate if the student tries, practices a lot of studio skills, sketching skills. Sketch anything, but start sketching. That is one thing which we focus on.
All right. Just one second. I'm getting a few more questions. Um, right. All right. So let me launch one more poll question.
Sure.
Okay. Just to get an idea, a sense of if there are people who've applied or yet or not applied to Woxsen. Just want to get an idea of this. All right. All right. So I've got a couple of questions, one from Sarina and one from Ananya, but these are not um, specific to Woxen. But
Okay.
Ananya's
So
question, yeah.
yes.
So Sarina, I probably need you to elaborate on your question. I'm not sure whether I understand that clearly. Ananya is saying, if Ananya, could you elaborate? Have you are you looking for a undergraduate program or a postgraduate program? That's what I would like to know. And the second thing is, um, yeah, so that's one of the things. But Dr. Kinshuk, could you please tell me,
Hmm.
um, do you all have a master's program or not yet?
No, not yet. Only Bachelor of Design. Yes.
Okay, okay. Only a Bachelor of Design at this point of time. All right,
Yes.
cool. Um,
We have
right.
master's program, but not in design. We have a School of Business where there we have master's program, not in School of Design. Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. Right. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is the experience of the students during their college. Now, the last time I was there in Woxen, I know that I mean y'all did take us to some of the schools that y'all were supporting, and I know that y'all have interactions with the villages around. And I thought that was pretty interesting. Could you please elaborate on that?
Yeah, sure. In fact, this is a very interesting point, which I should elaborate. Is the point is the design? I mean, briefly touched upon the point of artisans. So basically, the core of design and the design policies of Indian design policies, and the base of Indian design philosophy is that we should work with our identity, Indian identity. That so the Indian designers should have the Indian core Indian designer, which we should take it forward to the world. So in order to make a designer indigenous in nature, we need to work closely with the grassroots level, that is to with the artisans, not only with the craft work, but all sort of things where we can take inspiration from. So we interact, we take the student. We have, in fact, we have courses where we have specified that in this course we need to go to nearby villages and work for the system level solution and to touch their lives and to make their lives better. That is one thing. We have another nature of courses which is related to craft documentation and cluster visits. So we go to the craft clusters and work with them, give them design solutions, design ideas, understand what they perceive by design and where is the gap, and how can we make them employable, and how can we make their designs better so that they sell and they earn their livelihood. So we work closely with the nearby villages. We have a lot of nearby villages where we go around 20 kilometers from the campus. 25 kilometers, 15 kilometers from campus. So we take the student groups along with the faculties. They work. Let's say they go every day and they study and come back. So for the entire week, they'll go every day. They study and observe. They discuss. They document and they come back. So a lot of courses are of such nature.
All right. That's pretty interesting. So I have a question here from Ananya Sibi. Okay,
Hmm.
she's not a bachelor's student. She's a postgraduate. She's looking to do a post graduation. Now,
Okay.
more than anything, I think she's looking to you since you've done your master's in fashion design and she's doing that
Yes.
as
Yes.
well. Okay.
Okay.
So she wants to know from you what kind of portfolio is required if she wants to pursue her master's in fashion design abroad.
Okay, great. Good question. I would definitely love to answer. See, the progression from school to college, let's say from 10th to 12th to bachelor's to master's, is like a funnel. So basically, we focus. So we study broad areas in till 10th. Then we let's select science or commerce or arts. Then we focus again. Well, in science, then let's say if you take the analogy with BSc and MSc, in BSc we pick up one area and we let's say physics. Physics is one area. We study physics and we do BSc. Going to MSc, we pick up one more specialized in, let's say, astrophysics, and we do MSc in astrophysics. Say, and when we do our PhD, we again super specialize. So same approach should be there for design. So when we have picked a Bachelor of Design, let's say for fashion design, there are a lot of different core skills which are important for fashion design. One is, let's say, fashion illustration. Pattern making is one core skill which you should have. Garment manufacturing techniques, GMT, we call it GMT in common parlance. Draping is another skill, right? So design philosophy is another skill. Design process, applying design process is another skill in fashion design. So we call them design projects. So if you are very good with the process and flow of activities, you can start with a brief and reach the solution. So if you want to apply for masters, you should try to focus your portfolio towards one area. Suppose if you are very good with surface embellishment, so your portfolio should focus on surface embellishment. If you are very good with fashion illustrations, so your portfolio should focus on fashion illustration. It is not that you shouldn't have all other work, but the focus area in your portfolio should be very clear that you have done a lot of work in this particular subdomain in the fashion industry. I hope this answers the question.
Yeah, so Ananya, I think you'd probably need to let us know if that answered your question. But I think that was a good answer and quite relevant, I think, because at a post graduation level, I think they're looking very specifically. I mean, of course, a
Yes.
general skill
It
set
is
as well
basically,
as
yeah, basically the masters is the trend towards all design education is just like in parallel direction of technological education, which was there. It is basically the trend is towards masters by research. So the institutions, the premier institutions all across the world, if we see, they are looking towards people who are aspirants of masters, the research oriented people. They want to contribute and they want to be very focused on a particular research topic.
all right, all right, okay, that's interesting. Um, right. So, could you give us a brief on the faculty that are there in each department, and any of the faculty that was heading the departments, each of the departments? Could you give us some
So
idea?
we have, yeah, in product design, we have Mr. Subhash Chandra Bose Yalala. He is an IDN. He is a toy designer. We also have in product design department, we all have a lot of NIDNs. So we have around 12 to 15 in-house faculty, core faculty, and the remaining 50% of the workload, because it is very important. We could have taken more in-house faculties, but that is not the way the approach should be. We should have multiple perspectives to each course. So that's why design education is more successful if we have more inputs from the industry experts and the academicians who come from other institutions as well, so that they can give a fresh perspective to the problem. So we have four departments. We have around three core faculty in each department, and then we call visiting faculties who come stay there for, let's say, it depends on the credits of that course. If it is a smaller course, they stay, let's say, they stay there for 6 days, 7 days, 9 days, 12 days. They start the course, they finish the course, and then they go. If it is a very large course, let's say of 1 month, so they come in two lots. They come for the first 15 days, they give some homework, then again after a month they come and they take the module. So we are working on this module in this mode, not a module, on this mode. Yes.
All right, but that's the product design department you spoke about.
Yes. For fashion design,
For
we have, yeah, I'm there in the fashion design department. I'm from NIFT. So, and we have textile technologists there from government textile colleges. We have a lot of visiting faculty who come from NIFT, who act as mentor faculties, because for fashion design, NIFT is the best place. NID is more known for visual communication and product design. So for product design and visual communication, we try to approach and attract people who are from NID, because it is their base of product design and visual communication is very strong. So, and we also have faculties who have globally recognized degrees. For interior design, we have faculty who is trained from De Montfort University, and there are other universities, and they are well qualified. Everyone is masters. So, as per the mandate of AICT, the faculty has to be bare minimum requirement is a master's degree. And in order to teach master's program, we need, as per AICT, we need a PhD degree. So this is how it works. So we have well-trained faculty, and everyone is in-house. The most important thing is they are always approachable. So they're in the campus. So even we meet students, let's say during the dinner, if they have doubts, we sit at the common place, common rooms, and we discuss the problems. And we test, at times, if required, before the jury, we take sessions at 9 o'clock at night, and it is a very lively environment. So yeah.
all right, that's fine. Right. So if there are any more questions, please ask them now for the last 2-3 minutes. We'll be ending this webinar at 7:15. But finally, Dr. Kinshuk, if you can tell us your story
My story,
and how
like,
you, yeah, and
okay,
how you
fine.
reached the boxing, yeah,
How I reached Woxsen or how I reached design?
how you
uh,
you can tell me that. You can take that ahead.
so basically, see, life is very unpredictable. It takes a lot of twists and turns. I'm a physics graduate, and then I decided, I actually enrolled in MSc Physics from university. I belong to Delhi, so I'm a Delhiite, although I'm a Bengali, but belong to Delhi. So I studied in one of the most prestigious colleges of Delhi, Kirodimal College, the alma mater of Amitabh Bachchan. So then I enrolled in MSc Physics, and then certain things clicked in my mind that I told to myself and my parents that I don't want to do this. I was passionate about fashion design for the last few years. I want to change my track. So then I dropped 1 year. Then I prepared for NIFT examinations. At the first attempt, I got into. Obviously, I wanted to go into NIFT Delhi, but the counseling Delhi center was not available for me. And I got into NIFT Kolkata, and then did my MF Tech, Master of Fashion Technology from NIFT Kolkata. Then I worked as in the industry. I worked as a visual merchandiser. I worked with well-known brands like Pantaloons and Reebok and United Colors of Benetton. Worked for store design of retail stores. Then I have a family background of education, I mean, academician. So I always wanted to come into academics. Then I taught in a few design institutes in Delhi. Then something clicked that I wanted to pursue my doctorate. So then I joined a university in Rajasthan as an assistant professor, and side by side I completed my PhD from there. So my PhD topic was very interesting. It was like the impact and influence of ancient Indian paintings in fashion, today's fashion. So how the representations we see of from taken from Indian paintings in today's fashion scenario. Not only fashion, but fashion and the entire lifestyle scenario. It also includes accessories. So yes, one thing which I would like to maybe guide the students, if we have time, 1 more minute. So that fashion accessories is a very, I mean, you can say a very hot career avenue, you can say. So a lot of fashion designers as well as product designers are going into fashion accessories and product related accessories like table accessories. So accessory design is something which is niche, and few of our product design students are also taking projects in accessories. Even fashion design students are taking projects in accessories. Even interior design students, they are taking up a domain called furniture design. So these boundaries between all design domains is gradually fading and breaking. So fashion designer is taking some project of interior design or graphic design, and vice versa. So you should be versatile so that you can take up a project when it comes your way. So yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you. That was an interesting story. Finally, we have one last question from Anushka. Um,
Yes.
do y'all have any marks assigned for the entrance process? Do y'all have any marks, and is there a cutoff?
Yes, they'll. I don't know about the cutoff that the admission team takes care of, but yes, you'll get a consolidated scorecard after all these four components are over. You get a scorecard.
All right, and I'm sure from there would be some level of cutoff, but we're not
Yes, yes,
entirely sure about that, Anushka. All right.
yes.
Right, Dr. Kinshuk, really appreciate your time and effort of being here and meeting with our students and parents.
Yeah, it
Thank
was
you
my
for
pleasure.
answering the
Yeah,
questions
yeah.
and looking
Ah,
forward to
yeah,
interacting with you
yeah,
once again.
yeah. Sure. Stay
All
safe
right.
and stay at home. Yeah. Take care. Bye bye.
All right. Take care, sir. Yeah. Goodbye.